You are listening to the Cattle Call Podcast. This is the place where computer-aided design and drafting meets humor and practicality, with a touch of business acumen thrown in for fun. Jim and Rocco, the owners of Zentech Consultants, the premier U.S. technology consulting firm for architecture, engineering, construction, and manufacturing, discuss the fascinating world of CAD with some humor and some honesty. The Cattle Call Podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Cattle Call Podcast with Jim and Rocco from Zentech Consultants. I am Jim, your jovial and cheerful host, and with me, as always, is my partner,
Rocco.
See, he's neither jovial nor cheerful, and that is why I have to make you all suffer through the engineering joke of the week. Okay, Rocco, you did this to everyone. This is your fault. You ready?
Ready.
Okay. Why don't software engineers like to go outdoors?
Why?
Too many bugs. Huh?
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Oh, it's terrible. Hey, I don't know what's going on. I can't get my little drum beat thing. There it goes. Okay. It wasn't playing. I was hitting the drum thumb thing and it didn't want to go. All right. That's my issue. All right, everybody. So we have a guest on the show today. Danielle Hart, who is the Regional Director of Membership Service for the Eastern Pennsylvania branch of the Associated Builders and Contractors, is with us today. So thank you so much for being on the show today, Danielle.
Thanks for having me, Jim and Rocco.
You say that now. Wait till we're done. Haha.
Yeah.
All right, folks. So Danielle is here today to just to give us a little bit of insight into the benefits of working with a trade association like, ABC, and how it can benefit workers, employers, and really, I think, the design build industry as a whole. I think it's really important to work with these associations. But before we get into that, let's give everybody who's listening a chance to learn a little bit about Danielle and what she does over at the ABC. So Danielle, why don't you fill folks in on your background and how you wound up over at the ABC and what it is you do over there?
Okay, sure. So, yeah, I actually came to ABC about 4 years ago, sort of by mistake. So my background is actually in conflict mitigation and de-escalation training.
Oh, man, Rocco and I can use that.
Yeah, well, it has definitely served a purpose here in the construction industry. But
yeah, no doubt.
yeah. But yeah, so I worked a lot with transit workers, so your bus drivers, train operators, and I loved my job, but COVID really negatively impacted it. So Amanda Maluski, who works here at ABC Eastern PA as well, for years had been trying to get me to come over, and I just, I was like, I don't know anything about the industry, but then I was kind of forced because I lost my job during the pandemic. So it wound up being a very happy accident. I really like it here, like the industry. I'm constantly learning. But yeah, so my role at the chapter is I handle membership services. So I help people get signed up. I go out and try to meet people, make them aware of the organization. And then if they're interested in joining, do the onboarding process. I'm their point of contact if they run into any issues, and I help them navigate their membership so that they can really maximize it and make the most of it. I also help with our what we call management education training. So, coordinating the schedule for that and helping people get classes set up, whether it be safety or some of the work that you guys do with your training.
There you go. See, that was a much safer story. I thought when you said you wound up there by accident, I thought you walked in and thought it was a deli. Yeah, so you went in to order a pastrami on rye. Next thing I know.
That wouldn't have been out of the realm of possibility for me as well, but.
All right. Good. All right. So look, trade associations, right, like the ABC, they are, to my mind at least, a really powerful but seriously underutilized tool for those of us in the building world. I think they provide a great array of resources and training and communications and development in general for their members. And it's one of those areas, though, that I just don't feel that it seems to click with as many of us as it really should. I talk with people all the time in this industry, and they just seem to almost dismiss trade associations because either they're too busy right now to go look into it, or it's, it's on there, oh, someday I'll get to that list, that list that we all have. And that's a big mistake, right? Because I really believe that you get huge benefits by connecting your company with associations like the ABC. So Danielle, let's start with the definition here, right? What exactly is the ABC and how did it get started?
Yeah, so ABC stands for Associated Builders and Contractors, and ABC was started in Maryland in 1950. A group of contractors got together to develop basically like a resource group, share ideas, and really the main purpose was to advocate for free enterprise and fair and open competition in the construction space. They were running into issues with that at the time, so a number of contractors came together and created it for that purpose. And now today, we have almost 70 chapters throughout the U.S. and we represent well over 20,000 construction companies throughout the country. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit of who we are and, how it started.
Nice. So, Rocco, we work with Danielle and the ABC all the time. How does a consulting firm like ours kind of fit into we'll call it the trade association model, and how well are we received by the construction members of ABC?
Yeah, there's a big skills gap, right? As we all know, there's a skills gap, and there's a worker shortage, and so being involved with associations like Danielle's helps us get the word out, right, beyond what we're able to do as a small business here. So being connected is huge for us, and there's a need out there. I mean, there's a need for folks to learn technology, and we covered everything from Bluebeam to Procore to CAD to Microsoft and beyond, and so it's been a great partnership with Danielle's team. We certainly enjoy working with them.
Nice. All right. So, like I was saying earlier, right, I do think there are a lot of benefits in working with, the ABC for people at all levels, right? And I want to start, I guess, with kind of the younger people out there, right, who are looking to develop careers in the building trades, right? Like Rocco was saying, right, we talk all the time on this show about, the skilled labor shortage and the skills gap on the tech end of the design build world. And I think that the best way to address those issues is really working with, organizations like ABC to help younger people develop the skill sets that they need, right? To kind of move into these, what are now high paying, high skill positions that, companies are just clamoring to fill. So, Danielle, what does ABC offer in terms of workforce development, right? And how do you connect young people to training and placement with your member companies?
Yeah, so we do a number of things regarding workforce development. So the first phase of it is really building relationships with local schools. So, we work really closely, for example, with one school, LaGuardia Academy. They're in Philadelphia. So we work really closely with them and their guidance counselors throughout the whole process. We go into the school, we will speak to the students, kind of give them an overview of who we are, and then just talk about opportunities in the field that they might not be aware of, and really just try to give them exposure. We'll bring in some of our member companies. We work with a lot of great contractors that are willing to come in and talk to the students. So we do things like that. We go out to career fairs, and really just try to connect with people and collect their information, if they're interested, so their resumes, things like that. I give my contact info out, and I tell them how much student loan debt I have and how they could avoid that and get a really great job in the trades. So that's kind of the few ways that we really get out there and try to connect with younger people. Like I said, we, if they're willing, we take their resumes, get their information, and then we try to see what they're interested in and pair them with companies that might make sense. So, we have almost 600 member companies in our chapter, so we have a lot of access. So sometimes I might just say, hey, I got these resumes and send them out to everybody. But a lot of the time it's more, I have someone in mind, or I have a few companies in mind, and I'll reach out directly, and then they have those conversations. So that's generally how the process works. And then if there's placement and they're interested, we have a number of training opportunities as well after that phase of the process.
Nice. Yeah, and I think it's so important, especially talking with the younger kids. I mean, there's just, as a nation for decades, many decades now, we've talked about, the need to go to college and get these advanced degrees and do all of these things. And as a nation, we have discouraged kids from getting into the trades. And I think that's a massive mistake. It's such a great, rewarding, and quite honestly, nowadays, well-paying career, that we need to encourage. So,
yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. All right. I tell you what, let's take a break here, right? We're going to let our sponsors get in here and try to sell you guys listening some stuff. And when we get back, right, we'll get Danielle to talk to us about some of the other offerings and opportunities that you guys can get by working with the ABC. So stand by, folks. We'll be back in just a minute with more of the Cattle Call Podcast.
All right, everybody. Today's Cattle Call Podcast is being sponsored by both Rocco and I. Zentech, we want to talk to you guys about our Bluebeam Review Toolset Kickstart program. Look, you guys fight with trying to get reliable, repeatable quantity takeoff and markup items from your Bluebeam software, right? Are you guys frustrated having to go in and change and modify the display properties of every single item that you create inside a review? Well, that's what we're here to help you guys with the Kickstart program. We give you tools that you need built to your specifications at an affordable fixed cost. You can fully develop tool sets for any industry. Doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter what you do. We can help you work better with Bluebeam custom tools. So Rocco, why don't you tell folks how they get info on our Kickstart program?
Yeah, the big thing is it is like you said, Jim. It's one fixed price, so it's $29.95, and we can help you to prove to your management what.
Is it $29.95?
No, Jim, it's $2,995.
Thank you. Just wanted to clarify.
Oh, of course. So hit up our website, check out the details. We'd be happy to talk to you. It's zentechconsultants.net. Reach out to us, sales@zentechconsultants.net, or give us a ring, 866-824-4459.
All right, the Bluebeam Review Toolset Kickstart program. Everything you guys need to be Bluebeam experts.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Cattle Call Podcast. We're talking with Danielle Hart of the Associated Builders and Contractors about the benefits of trade organizations today. And in this half of the show, I want to get into some detail about a few of the programs that ABC focuses on that I think bring just a tremendous amount of benefit to construction firms, whether it's in trade skills training or construction management education. ABC does just a ton of work helping people in our industry to develop the skills that they need to advance their careers. So Danielle, let's start with apprenticeship training, right? Yeah, because getting new workers into our industry is vital. What programs and processes does ABC offer in this space, and how do they work, and how can people get involved with those?
Yeah, so we at ABC here, we have a federally and Pennsylvania DOL registered program. So we run a number of apprenticeship programs out of our training facilities. So, carpentry, electric, HVAC, roofing, sheet metal. There's a number of them. The list goes on and on. Construction craft laborer. So there's a number of different options for people to enroll in those. Typically, the way it works is, you spend about 8 hours a week in class. So sometimes those are day classes, sometimes they're night, but the rest of your week is spent on the job learning. So those are called, your OJL hours, on the job learning hours. So you're getting the instruction in the classroom. You're working with your instructor and your classmates, getting some hands-on stuff, some book material. We use NCCER, their curriculum. And so you're getting that in the classroom 1 day a week, and then the rest of the week you're on the job and applying the skills that you're learning. So typically those programs are 4 years, and they run like your typical school year. So like October to May-ish. And like I said, they're about 4 years. So, we do enroll people when they're not currently employed with one of our member companies, but they usually get snatched up by one of our member companies pretty quickly, because that shows that the person's serious and dedicated. So yeah, if anyone's interested in whether it be enrolling one of their current employees, or if someone is interested in getting into the trades, you can definitely find more information on our website. So that's www.abceastpa.org, or they can shoot an email to info@abceastpa.org, and we'll be happy to connect with them, answer any questions, see where their interests lie, and see if we can get them set up in the program or paired with a company for work.
Yeah, that's perfect. I love the idea that you can take someone, because there are always folks out there who are like, oh, I got this good kid. He works really hard. They show up every day. They just don't really know what they're doing yet. That's an ideal candidate to get involved in a program like that. So
yeah.
I think another area that I want to hit on here. It's the ongoing training that ABC offers for the management side of the construction world, right? And I think a lot of times, when we're talking about employment needs in the construction space, people tend to focus on the hands-on skilled trade shortages, right? But there is a huge need to educate younger people on the process of construction management and the technologies that they're going to need to perform those tasks effectively. Developing, tomorrow's managers from today's skilled workers. It's a vital step in keeping our industry healthy. And, I love that ABC does not ignore that. So Danielle, what programs does ABC offer in terms of management education? All right. And where can people go to find out what you're offering and kind of how to get that training for them, themselves or their employees?
Yeah, so we run a wide array of classes in regards to management education. So, it can be anything from time management to, HR seminars, legal seminars, blueprint reading, estimating. There's really, like I said, a wide array of different classes that we offer. They are all listed on our website. I do always like to point out, too, that sometimes we'll have members come to us and say, I'm looking for X, Y, and Z, something specific, and that might not be on our website. But we work really hard to, dig in a little bit more, see what they're looking for, and put it together for them. So, we have an ongoing schedule online, and that can also be found at our website. But in addition to that, if someone's looking for something specific, I'm happy to customize and put something together, and like you guys, we work really closely with you as well. So any training on Bluebeam or AutoCAD, Procore, we really try to really get all the nuts and bolts, like run the gamut of any type of management training. And then in addition to that, we also do our safety training. So, you have your basic stuff, your OSHA 10s, OSHA 30s, but we can really put together any kind of training that someone might need. We work really closely with safety companies. So, we have the experts in the industry as members of our organization. So they help us put our schedule together, our ongoing schedule that kind of hits your common ones, like I said, your OSHA 10s, OSHA 30s. But if there's something else that's needed, we're happy to put that out there as well. So we really just try to cover all the bases and offer anything and everything that our contractor members might need to help develop their future leaders.
There you go. Yeah, and as you guys have a huge array of offerings. And Rocco, like Daniel was saying, right, we do a lot of work with ABC, right? And we offer, a good number of their technology-focused management classes. From our side, how's that partnership been working out, and what's kind of the feedback that we get from ABC members who are signing up for those classes?
Well, the feedback is great. I mean, the students enjoy the classes, and it's a win-win all around, right? ABC gets the chance to market our classes and to create awareness of what's capable within technology. We're able to extend deeper conversations in discussions with the members as well, right? Because we don't just do training; we're offering consulting services, and we do product sales as well. So It's a win all around. And again, there's a need. There's a need to increase people's skills at all levels, from lower level folks who are working their way up, all the way up to management. So
There you go.
it's a win.
It's a win. I'm telling you, Danielle, he's not saying it, but it's a win-win more
It's a
for
win.
him. He wins and he keeps all the money. I don't get none of it. Not gonna be jumping off to Bermuda next week. I'm gonna be sitting here working, teaching classes. So, all right, folks. At the end of the day, I think that all the apprenticeship and management training in the world can only take you so far, right? There has to be a practical and an approachable, I think, process for people who have put in the effort to develop these skills, right? To be able to bring those skills to real projects and real work. And that means, right, finding employment with respected construction firms who are actively looking to hire people that they can trust to have the skill sets they need to be, safe, effective, and reliable on their construction sites. Construction work, whatever the level of it is, it requires more than just throwing bodies at a project, right? Unskilled or poorly trained workers, and I really believe this, they can be far more detrimental to a construction job than the worker shortage is, right? It's sometimes worse to have bodies on there who don't know what they're doing. Construction companies, they need a place that they can turn to connect them with the right workers. And the workers need introductions to those, respected companies that need them. So, Danielle, job placement, I know it's a big part of what ABC does. How does that kind of work from both, the worker and the employer directions?
Yeah. So earlier when we were talking about, the workforce development, how we get out there and talk to young people, like I said, so we collect their, information as long as they're okay with it and open to it, and like I said, we have about 600 member companies. I handle like the southern part of our territory. So I try to work really closely with all of our members and get to know them and know what their needs are. So I usually will just reach out and connect these people and say like, hey, they're looking for an opportunity. I know you're looking for people, and admittedly, almost all of our companies are looking for people.
Yeah,
at
that's
all
true.
times. Yeah. So we'll do it that way for the most part, because it's usually such a time sensitive thing. We will have career fairs, or we'll invite prospective employees to different events we have. So, it might not be a career fair, but we may be having a Meet the Generals event. And I'll say, hey, if you're available, why don't you come to this? We're going to have a ton of contractors there. And, we can set up a table where you can have your information. People can come by and, you can chat with them. So I try to do things like that because, like I said, the career fairs are great, but this is such a time-sensitive thing and everybody's in need. So people are getting scooped up really quickly, or, I try to do a little bit more, customized pairing for people that I think like, oh, I think you get along with this company, or this type of work seems to align with where your interests are. So that's kind of the way that works. It's not super formal, I guess, because like I said, there's so many moving parts and variables that I just try to get people in front of our member companies and fill those voids.
Okay. And nothing wrong with informal, right? Sometimes that's the best way. Sometimes you can bog things down in formal processes, and, sometimes like, hey, this is Joe. Joe, that's that guy. You guys go work together, and it works out well. So nothing wrong with that. Okay. So I tell you what, folks, all my listeners know that whenever we have a guest on, all right, I always want to give them a chance to tell us something on their topic that I'm just not smart enough to know I should ask about. And I'm going to do that for Danielle. So Danielle, you're up now. What else do you think that people should know that we didn't cover already?
So earlier you mentioned, that trade associations or associations in general are kind of an underutilized or underrated part of your business. And I think I just would like to really take a chance to second that and say, if you have the time, or if you can make the time to join an association and really get involved, the return on investment is all of our companies that join and get involved, they really see the return on investment. And then, they help reach out to other people and say, like, seriously, this is so worth it. You have access to a network of people that face the same issues as you. You can turn to them if you're running into a problem. It really gives you access to this community that you're now a part of that can help troubleshoot. You can just kind of discuss various topics. It helps you build your network. It helps you build your pipeline. I know as far as ABC goes, our members love doing work with other ABC members, and they really enjoy seeing the successes of the people in the industry as a whole. So everyone's really there to help and, like I said, just see each other succeed. So I think that's something that goes is often overlooked when you talk about associations. It's not just, I can go to this networking event or I can get this training. I think it really gives you access to not only the staff who, are privy to all of these industry topics and things that are coming up, but this whole community of people that really can relate to everything that you're dealing with, and they're in the same region as you, so they really understand what you're going through, and they're there to help, and then you might be in a position to help other companies at one point in time. So I think people don't always talk about the value of the community aspect of it when you join an association like ABC.
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%. I mean, honestly, I can't think of a single negative aspect to it. It doesn't require a lot of time. It doesn't require a ton of effort. It's just some basic interaction and communication. And man, everybody wins in these associations. So
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So with that, folks, we're going to let you guys get back to your day so that you can go jump online and reach out to ABC and get your member application filled out and get to work with them right away. But before we go, I just want to say thank you to Danielle Hart once more for taking the time to be here today. Even though she knows us and knows she really shouldn't have to sit and talk to us for so long. It's always annoying to talk to us.
Not at all. Thank you so much for having me, Jim and Rocco. It's been great. And
you don't have to thank Rocco. He didn't do nothing.
I mean, he was the one who connected this, right? Instead of
yeah.
All right, he does some stuff on the back end.
I gotta give my buddy some credit.
It's good to know that somebody else beside my dog is on my side.
Oh, your dog's not even on your side. All right, folks, we're gonna get out of here, and we'll catch you next time on the Cattle Call Podcast. All right, everybody, today's Cattle Call was brought to you courtesy of Zentech Consultants. That's Rocco and I. Zentech Consultants works with design and manufacturing firms to help our clients purchase and implement the software that they need in these complex industries. We provide a single point of contact for clients to buy, develop, and learn the most vital software systems for your specific needs. Zentech strives to be your trusted technology partner from your initial needs all the way through long-term support and training for your entire staff. So Rocco, why don't you tell them how to reach out to Zentech?
All right, yeah, you can reach out to us through zentechconsultants.net. You can email us at sales@zentechconsultants.net, or you can even call us 866-824-4459.
Excellent. We look forward to hearing from you all.